Yes, welcome back, everybody. I just want to make a quick analysis of Shisley CBC's latest video, the one that she claims to be a foundation for the memory of her child, TK. Mm. In that video, she denied ever, sleeping with men of God, and she made other. She started to push some other facts to us, which I just too baseless for me to accept. Here on the screen, you see a chat between the same Sisley and J. Israel. If you can read clearly, I don't know how clear it is from your end there. You will see Sisley begging J. Israel to hook her up with men of God. She likes them tall, dark, and handsome. And then J. Israel said, "Go to Philip Banda." And she replied by saying, that one I finished with long ago, long back. He used to F me, giving me money. When it got broke, I said he raped me to finish the few remaining bucks. Can you see that? They're talking about Philip Banda here. The same Philip Banda, since they denied ever sleeping with. The same Banda, since they claims trafficked her to TB Joshua's church for prostitution or whatever it is, to be abused and used there. Let me go to the next one. Let me see if I can play this video.
Number 2, I was taken to...
All right. Okay. Yeah, then here is a continuation of the chat. He said, hook me up with Hubert or Jeremiah.
Wow.
You can see that.
Said,
now hear what she said here.
There's something wrong with this city, girl. Why is it that all the powerful men of God, this man of God, TB Joshua, this one, have all slept with her, have all violated her? Why is it that, how did you get in contact of these people?
I think people's problem is that they don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. Who is all men of God? Who is all?
Because it's
Number one, the first man of God I was taken to when I stayed at a mission house was Philip Banda. Right?
Yeah.
And I've practically always said his name from the Back for Christ Ministries.
Yeah.
I've never had sex with that man, or he's never slept with me. Number 2, I was taken to TB Joshua's church. And yes, TB Joshua did violate me, which I practically spoke about on the BBC documentary. Not just me, a lot of us. And that is why at TB Joshua's church has subsequently had three abortions, right? So who are these many men of God?
All I'm saying is I am emotionally broken. And
Thank you. You hear that now? Denying ever sleeping with Banda. You heard her say she was trafficked to Nigeria, to TB Joshua. She never slept with Banda, so she says now, which wasn't what she said, or she has been saying all this while. She said she slept with Banda, and when Banda almost went broke, she decided to lay a false claim against Banda. Sorry. She said Banda raped her. Out of fear, Banda gave her the remaining cash he had with him. So she practically rendered or almost rendered Banda, cashless. Shisley is not a liar. It's not, I think she has a mental problem. That is just the explanation. Shisley has the same mental problem Bisola has. I don't know which term I should use for that now, but medically there's a name for it. Shisley is a narcissist, and she also, like Bisola, has a mental problem. Here, what she says there, when she was being interviewed by J. Israel and Solomon Isang. Before then, let me remind you again what she said. I never slept with Philibanda, but she was traveling to Nigeria, and she was violated by TB Joshua, and she had 3 abortions for TB Joshua. Okay? At first glance, you may want to accept that, you may want to believe. But hear what she said here, and who she actually claimed to have slept with and fell pregnant for.
God, by what I saw, what I went through, and you know, when you were at that church, you were taught to master the art of lying. You were taught to master the art of manipulation. So you are taught the art on how to manage and package yourself well. So you learn the art, the manipulation and lying, and it's the program of the day.
Let's go to TB Joshua.
I intentionally allowed this part to play. Remember, I just likened Sisley to Bisola. Okay, the interview you're about to watch now is the interview J. Israel and Solomon Isang had with Sisley. Okay? And Bisola is so quick to, push the agenda, carry out the story, because they are birds of the same feather. If you watch very well here, you will see Bisola's information, and of course, they both have the same agenda to make money. That's money they don't care who they destroy in the process. You will see, Bisola made this post, which was her original post. It was for J. Israel and Solomon Isang. But she made this post, and then you see her put her bank account and her name. Bank account, because it's about money all the time. Money. That's Bisola Johnson. Bank details. Our contact. All right, you can see.
Let's go to TB Joshua. Take us through the From Banda, how did you even get to TB Joshua? You went to TB Joshua's church, synagogue. You spent 2 years in Nigeria, at the synagogue in Lagos. He's a charlatan. He's not even saved.
He's not even saved.
He's a sango. He's a babalao. He's a juju man that just came to the pulpit.
Exactly.
Forget about what you see on TV.
Thank you.
Forget about what he tells you. TB,
I've been to synagogue.
Stay out of TB Joshua's way. I used to run a Christian magazine. I wrote about TB Joshua on the front page. I even tried to speak to his people, spoke to his PA. Let me speak to TB Joshua. These are the allegations that was given to me by someone who spent 14 years there as a deputy prophet. The next thing I got, death threats. So there's no way TB Joshua held my magazine in his church on TV and telling people this is not of God. Please tell us about that shrine, that cult,
Exactly.
that place that is not a church.
Exactly.
Sorry for cutting. I have to do that a little more, just to push my point a little, making it a little more clear to you. Here, this was before J. Israel made a U-turn and started defending TB Joshua and pastors. Solomon Isang is hell-bent on destroying TB Joshua. As you can see here, Solomon said he went to TB Joshua. He asked to speak to TB Joshua, because of allegations brought to him. Allegations, which he just said now, So Solomon is working with allegations and not facts. He was not allowed access to TB Joshua, and now he still went ahead to broadcast his falsehood. He never had the chance to interview TB Joshua one-on-one. So it's like he has a personal vendetta. He's angry that he couldn't speak to TB Joshua. Why not wait till you're able to assess TB Joshua before you start calling him a charlatan, calling him all these names? The same thing that end time, what do you call him, church reality check said we always create a narrative. Isn't this a narrative? Solomonism, J. Israel, and Sisley. Is this not a narrative that they're expressing here now? The exact opposite of what TB Joshua stands for. Because you couldn't get access to TB Joshua, then you must just spread the falsehood that was brought to you by, I know it was making reference to Agamo Day. Okay, now no problem. That's not the main reason why we're here now. Now here, Sisley's response. Remember she said she never slept with Banda. She said she had 3 abortions for TB Joshua. TB Joshua. That was what she said. 3 abortions. Here, who she actually fell pregnant for, or claims to have fallen pregnant for, because I know that is also a lie.
Oh my God!
He's a ritualist.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
And people don't know.
People don't know.
African magic, black magic, that's what you see there.
Before you begin to speak about TB Joshua, you said something again when we were talking the other day that you used to go and whisper to TB Joshua. You say, Daddy, before you close,
That person there.
that person, the one I told you about, has
Yes.
got money.
Prophesy.
Please don't forget to prophesy on that one. And
Yeah.
that time, they are playing an advert on TV.
Yes.
And poor, gullible, manipulated, deceived individuals who are out there watching on TV are crying in tears, thinking that God is moving,
Right.
not knowing that Sidley is moving.
Sidney she collects the info, give it to TB Joshua. Let's start from, why did you go to the synagogue?
Right, so I must put it up front to say, look, I know the tricks. Maybe next week Sunday or even tomorrow I'll be headlines on Emmanuel TV. They'll say, Sister Sikle is a fraud, Sister Sikle is this, like they've been doing to Pisola. You know, Pisola, the one that
Bisola, yes.
Pisola, the one
Yes.
that wrote the book on TB Joshua. Now I personally know Pisola because we stayed together at the synagogue with
I'm
him.
sure Bisola is watching right
Yes,
now.
she is. I'm sure.
And please follow Bisola, she has a
You
lot.
know Bisola.
Follow her
Exactly.
on Facebook, she has a lot.
Evangelist
Bisola.
Pisola, I tagged her, so I'm sure
Exactly,
she's watching.
yeah.
Yes. So I personally stayed there with her. So I was at Philip Banda's church, and we were first shown videos of the miracles from TB Joshua.
So he has a relationship with TB Joshua.
Not anymore.
I mean, he used to have a
Yeah,
relationship.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And then they used to have a relationship, and then they would show us at overnight videos of TB Joshua, of him praying for women. And then there was a lady that used to take people to synagogue at that time. Her name was, I think, Mama Sarah or Mama Sandra, something like that, a white lady.
Okay.
And then there was a trip. Woo! Impact for Christ, going to synagogue, and everyone was excited. And at that time, I wanted to go more than ever because I had an ear problem, and then I was partially deaf. So I went to had my ear operation, but I was still slightly deaf. So I had just started working at that time. I remember I just started working. I had my small car, my Fiat Palio. You know, I was okay. And then the trip at that time was 10,500 rand. Paid for the trip and went to synagogue. Got to Nigeria. Our trip was supposed to be 7 days. Prayer line happened. I was prophesied on the prayer line that I need to stay. I'm an evangelist, and I need to stay at the church. Okay. I don't know what happened to me, but when I came to.
Demons. TB Joshua's demons.
Thank you. Like I said, I will have to pause the video to make some explanations. Here, Sikle just exposed herself. She said she was trafficked to TB Joshua, to Nigeria, to be used as a sex toy or whatever there. But here she sold herself out. You heard that just now. Maybe I should rewind it a little while I still pause. You heard the main reason why Sisley went to Nigeria was because she had a ear problem. She was deaf in one ear. She went for surgery but still couldn't hear well. So she went she was taken to Nigeria for deliverance, which she got. She got a healing there because she used the word was, which means she's no longer deaf in that ear. You could hear her after the deliverance. She didn't know what happened when she came to. So because, you know, when you are being delivered, you lose yourself. The devil takes over. You know, there's a war now between good and evil. And eventually, when the good wins, which is God, Christ in us, and the devil is cast out, then you get back to yourself. You know? Hear what she said again.
Anymore.
I mean, he used to have a relationship.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
And then they used to have a relationship, and then they would show us at overnight videos of TB Joshua, of him praying for women. And then there was a lady that used to take people to synagogue at that time. Her name was, I think, Mama Sarah or Mama Sandra, somebody, a white lady.
Yeah.
And then there was a trip. Woo!
A trip.
Christ went to synagogue, and everyone was excited. And at that time, I wanted to go more than ever because I had an ear problem, and then I was partially deaf. So
Exactly.
I had my ear operation, but
Exactly.
I was still slightly deaf. So I had just started working at that time. I remember I just started working. I had my small car, my Fiat Palio. You know, I was okay. And then the trip at that time was 10,500 rand. Paid for the trip and went to synagogue. Got to Nigeria. Our trip was supposed to be 7 days. Prayer line happened. I was prophesied on the prayer line that I need to stay. I'm an evangelist. And I need to stay at the church. Okay. I don't know what happened to me, but when I came to.
Demons. TB Joshua's demon. Hypnotism.
When I came to, I don't know what happened. When I came to, so when I came back to my senses, to myself, when the demons left, which means she was delivered. All right? And then J. Israel and Solomon chipped in and said, demons, that you use the demonic power to heal you. You can't heal someone with demonic power. Beelzebub can never cast out Beelzebub. It is not spiritually done. It's not allowed. It's not possible. So Cicely was delivered at the church. So which automatically means she was not trafficked to TB Joshua as a sex slave by Prophet Banda. She actually went there through Mama Sarah because there was a trip. And since she had an ear infection that caused her deafness, she had to join the trip. She went there for deliverance. And she got the deliverance. And after the deliverance, the church decided to ask her to stay behind and work for God. That was why she became an evangelist there. You all heard it. I don't need to repeat it. It's like I'm replaying over and over again. But let's continue. When I came to.
Okay.
So the 7 days came, and then the South African group left. And I was
Then
left.
you remained there.
Yes, I was
Because
left
you are an
behind.
evangelist.
Yes,
Okay.
and I need to stay for training. Now, I was the first black South African girl to stay at the Synagogue Church of All Nations.
Okay.
Right? So it's not a hearsay, it's not a what. I was there, I lived there, I lived through it. So I stayed at the church, and then I was moving to the dormitory, stayed with the disciples of the dormitories, and sleep was something that I never knew. We never slept. When daddy is not sleeping, we don't sleep. We're running around. So for me, you know, with my experience with Philip Banda, when I spoke, people never believed me. So certain things I just kept to myself, and I thought, you know what, I don't need this drama. Let me just keep quiet because people will just never believe anything I do. I say. So at that time, I was in the chorister. I was singing in the praise and worship team there with the three sisters. And
now this is synagogue.
yes,
Synagogue.
You were a chorister
I
at
was a
synagogue.
chorister at synagogue.
So you stand in
So you're
front.
standing in front.
Yeah.
You're singing there.
Yes. I was a chorister at synagogue, and remember, I was the first black
Right.
South African
Right.
to be staying there. And then I was at the synagogue. So the first 2 months was difficult because I need to adjust. I'm South African, I'm in Nigeria, and the culture, it's
The
rough
food.
and everything. But I was very close to Sister Bisola. Now, Bisola is the one that wrote the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So upon my arrival, I think within 3 weeks, I was told, you're going to Singapore. Ah, Singapore! Yes, you're going to Crusade Singapore. I went to Singapore.
With TB Joshua.
With TB Joshua.
Yeah.
So we flew in. I remember I flew with Bisola and everybody. We
Okay.
flew to Singapore. We got to Singapore. Got to Singapore. So now what we do, TB Joshua was having a big crusade in Singapore. So we fly a month.
But he tried to
before.
give you money to get to Singapore.
Yes, yes. So we were called to the office and he was like, you must take this money, put it in your suitcases. And I was like,
So
I don't wanna be
that's
arrested
like hundreds
for-
of thousands
for
of
dollars.
dollars.
I was like, I don't want to be arrested for money laundering, you know?
So he wanted you to launder money.
Launder money,
Like to take money there.
Okay.
And I'm
Yes.
like, no, I don't want to be arrested for money laundering.
which is illegal.
Yeah, because I mean, when you get to the airport and they censor
You have to declare.
I must declare.
Yes.
So then, I don't know what happened then.
Sorry, once again. The money you're talking about here, TB Joshua was a very prudent man. He would never be involved in money laundering. Whatever money TB Joshua took to crusades was declared at the airport, even through the banks. Because TB Joshua gave, anytime he had a crusade in a foreign country, he gave to that country. He never took from them. I don't want to say pastors or whatever, but it is a normal thing for pastors to collect offerings even when they go for crusade outside the country. But instead, he gave out. So when he went for crusade, he went with a lot of money, and then substantial amount of money that can sustain, the economy of that country. That is how Christ asked us to be. The church must be the giver, not the taker all the time. So they know what Sister was referring to here when she made mention of money. But they twisted it now, tried to twist it to make it seem as if it was doing money laundering. Money laundering for what? Because the crusade was only for a week or so. So what is it laundering money for? We all saw that particular crusade, after the crusade, how he gave money to the people there. He built schools. He never cared which country. He will always do something good. So let's continue.
I know there was a sister who had a credit card. I don't know what happened with that situation, but anyways.
Okay.
So we got to Singapore. So we go there like a month or 3 weeks before.
All right.
Before TB Joshua
He
comes.
arrives. Yeah.
So when we get there, we must now make sure when TB Joshua arrives in Singapore, prayer line is ready. People who are coming to the prayer line are ready. We already know the who's
Okay.
in the country.
Hold on.
So when you get to, so I was there in Singapore.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So it's my first time in Singapore. So we get to Singapore and we're given this lavish hotel, and then we told, okay, fine, this is the church that's hosting us, and we get to meet the church people. So now remember, at that time I'm new, so I'm getting to know these things. But I'm always shadowing Brisola because now she at that time she was the official madame. So we when we get to a place, we need to know that, for example,
You just have to be patient with me and don't get angry that I'm talking too much, I'm cutting too much. I would like you to replay this video when I'm done. You will see a part where the video was cut. It's not a continuous video. The original one is continuous, but this one, Bisola cut it because she took out a part of that video. And in that part, Sisley was explaining how impossible it was for anyone to access TB Joshua. You can't get access to TB Joshua's house, apartment. It's not possible because I will play that one. I'm trying to make another video which I will show that part where Bisola took out of this one, the edited part. In that part, you see Sisley talk about TB Joshua staying on the 5th floor. No one dares go there, no woman. So how did TB Joshua sleep with Sisley? Let's continue.
this is where the prayer line will be. People who want to come to prayer line, who they are. So before TB Joshua comes, we screen. So screening happens, what we call screening. You fill in forms, you tell us who you are, what's this. You come and we interview you. So as disciples, we need to find out from you. What's your name? What's your surname? Why are you here? What's your problem? And you probably tell us you've got cancer. Show us your medical report. You must bring your medical report. So you show us your medical report.
This is synagogue you're talking
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You bring your medical report of what's wrong with you, and then, okay, fine. So obviously from the way you're talking, then we find out, so what do you do? No, I'm a businessman, or I'm whatever the case is. So already, I know this one's a businessman. I have to write notes. That is why if people have been to synagogue, you'll note disciples always have a paper and pen in hand everywhere we go because we need to always be jotting down notes and everything. So already we know to say, okay, fine, this person is this person is that, this person is that, and we already know what's happening. So, and which I say the beauty, no. The thing is, at synagogue, you're not just a chorister, but you work everywhere.
Right.
Right. So by the time TB Joshua lands, then you'll be called to his hotel room 111. But I would never understand why the three sisters were always in TB Joshua's hotel rooms. Like everywhere we went to, why they were there and what. And I would ask.
The three sisters are part
the
of.
three main singers. Yeah.
They sing, okay.
Yes. And I would ask to say, but why are you guys sleeping here and you're here in daddy's room all the time and you're not sleeping where we're sleeping? And say, no, Sister Sickles, because we are cooking for him, we're ironing for him. And I once said to them, even me, I want to be part of this. I want to cook.
Yeah.
I said, no.
She tried to assess TB Joshua.
I mean, I'm a very curious person. I was like, okay, fine, not my business. But what I saw was before the actual crusade, before there'll be prayer line, we have a debrief with TB Joshua.
Yeah.
So we'll tell him to say, okay, fine. So in the prayer line, it's Israel, it's Zwandile, it's Ali, it's Solomon, it's who and who and who. Then we'll say, okay, fine. So this one and this one and this one, they are the money bags. They are the ones that need
Business people.
Yes, business people, they need big prophecy. And then this one and this one have problems like this. So things that we see that are real ailments that we know that they might not really be able to be sorted out.
Yeah.
We kind of push you to the back. But if you have money, we'll bring you to the front because we always say at the end of the day, he can pray for you, but it's your faith that heals you.
Yeah.
So exercise your faith. So I was like, okay.
TB Joshua is a scammer.
It's a scam.
So then I would
Fraudster. That's what it is.
So then I would see that I think, okay, fine, not my business, not my monkey, not my circus. We left Singapore. Oh, but in Singapore, my guy, disciples were now sexing each other left, right, and
Can you hear that?
So that's the thing. People will always say, TB Joshua's disciples are very horrible, they're cruel, they're this. But behind the scenes, we are sleeping with each other. Now, here's the thing for me, ne? I was never prophesied that I'm sleeping with disciples. And I remember in Singapore, TB Joshua called me to his room one day and he said to me,
The same girl that claims she never slept around.
My parents say in South Africa.
Hear what she's saying.
I'm very honest with him because my dad was still alive then. And I said to him, my dad told me, if I marry a foreigner, he will never bless that marriage in his life. So that's how it ended. But there were relationships that were happening, but they were unspoken. Do you understand? So we went back to Nigeria, continued staying in Nigeria. Now, the most weirdest part is that when you're sick as a disciple, you don't get to go to prayer line. We have our own private doctor and clinic within the synagogue at the back.
Another lie.
So everyone else
Goes to prayer.
The whole world must come for healing.
Yes.
But when disciples are sick,
No.
they've got a private doctor.
Yeah.
Now see that.
And the most amazing thing for me was, I know people will say, I'm sure people are saying, yeah, she's a bitch, she's having sex. Look, I was in church, and if God was there, I was supposed to be picked out and say, let's deliver you from spirit of lust.
Thank you. She never denied sleeping around.
So I remember
You can hear.
synagogue, and then I had an abortion at the synagogue.
How did it happen? Who did you sleep with?
Thank
I was
you.
sleeping with one of the camera guys.
Not TB Joshua.
And I also slept with Daniel Wiseman. He's a wise man now.
Not TB Joshua.
He's Daniel. He's a
Not
wise
TB
man
Joshua.
now, and he's Daniel. So I was pregnant.
So hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Look at it.
People, this is not a movie.
No.
This is not a setup.
Yeah.
This is reality.
Yeah.
I lived it.
This is reality. So many gullible people out there. When I say my story, when I say my own story, people say he's crazy, he's lying. Some say
He hasn't repented.
He hasn't repented yet. He's still doing stuff. But look, this is Sihle. She's been to a synagogue.
I lived it.
There's wise man
Yes.
Daniel. You see him coming on TV.
Yeah, he's still there.
When people look
Still there.
at these wise men, they say they're like TB Joshua. They're so holy. They're so. But
Nothing.
And for me, I remember there was a time, and maybe you ask yourself, but where did you sleep with them? Right. If you know synagogue, there are places that nobody knows where the disciples sleep. We've got our own dormitories. And visitors' quarters. Most of the time, visitors are not there. So in between thingies, we know our signals. So we go, we do our thing, and we out. So when I discovered I was pregnant, I remember I confided in one of the sisters. I think it was Sister Yetunde or Lamini, someone there. And I told them, this is my situation. I was taken downstairs to the nurse. There's a nurse there in synagogue, and I had an abortion.
How did that happen? How did they perform the abortion?
In the house of
In
God.
the house of God. Downstairs
The house of
at
God.
church. Now, how was the process?
No. I went there and because I was now not seeing my period. That was
Okay. Because I've got a video like this one. So if I want to watch the full version of this, the reason why I brought this video again is because I want you to just get that part out. So you could know the reason why Cicely went to Nigeria. She went to Nigeria because she was deaf in one ear and she was delivered. Even now you can see she can hear very well. Now she's fighting against the same man through which God sent her healing. She's fighting against the same church that saved her from deafness. J. Israel here, you can see how they are giving her leading questions and they are pushing her along. J. Israel has since made a U-turn and right now is exposing Cicely because behind camera they discuss the truth amongst themselves. Solomon Isang is now an enemy to J. Israel. And they are both busy exposing themselves right now. And exposing even Cicely. You see how God set confusion in their midst. Cicely has opened a foundation in honor of her daughter. But the motive behind that foundation is still very questionable. Because it's all about money making. That channel is monetized. If you choose to play or upload any part of that video, YouTube pays Cicely. So she's making money from her dead daughter. 1 month, 2 weeks. Just too short a period to be online making money using your daughter's name. And now the most irritating thing is she's using her child, her son, the living one, as a shield. She brought that son on her previous interview and asked that son some leading questions which were obviously, explained to that guy how to answer to that little boy. That boy is still healing. In Cicely's last video, whenever she was asked any question, she will make reference to what the son said. While in actual fact, she was the one that told the boy what to say. Just because of money making, money. She's even coming out with part 2. Cicely knows how to cry. It's very easy for Cicely and Bisola. Very easy for them to cry. They are actors. And it's not 100% their fault because they have mental problems. She has been disowned by her mom, by her family. And they've reached out to J. Israel and others. I don't want to play the other video here because of copyright. The one she just brought now, but you may want to watch it. It's TK, I don't know what the full meaning of TK, Pediatric Foundation, something like that. You can also check it, or you search for Kwanele Mfundisi. You will see the video she just made just yesterday here. She is busy cashing out while her daughter lay still in a grave. May her soul rest in peace. Now she's trying to shut J. Israel up because J. Israel has receipts. She is so quick to open a case against J. Israel to shut him up. But J. Israel has come out to say he fears no one, he fears fuck all. Why is Sigley so fast to open a case? He even quoted the case number to shut J. Israel because he knows fully well J. Israel has the facts. Like the beginning of this video now, you saw the chat between J. Israel and Sigley. Don't get carried away. Until the final investigation is done, no one is free. Until proven guilty, no one is guilty. Which is the reason why Sigley is still roaming around now. The murder cases are still pending. There are still investigations ongoing right now. The cases of her ex-husband, both who died. I'm not saying she killed them or she didn't kill them. What I'm saying to you right now is that she's a part of the suspects. So whoever the culprit is will surely be brought to book. I know South African police. Don't play with them unless they don't want to take the case seriously. As it is now, they are very serious with this particular case. Sigley can block J. from saying the truth by opening police cases while she's busy doing the same thing to other people, lying and destroying other people. In that first part that you saw when they talk about Pastor Chris, Jesus said Jesus should hook her up with a man of God. She needs healing from a man of God. She's horny. So I'm horny. I need a man of God to pray for me. That's how she put it. And then Jesus said, what of Philip Banda? He said, that one, I've finished with him. He was effing me. And when he became broke, I lied that he raped me to collect the last money. I lied that he raped me. The same thing he did to TB Joshua. She did to TB Joshua. This word is very, very deep. I wonder how many men are rotting in jail now just because a woman said he raped me, even when he didn't. Many of them have come out open to confess how they sent their boyfriends or husbands to jail by laying false allegations. You decide for yourself. If you choose to listen to someone like this who will give 3 or 4 interviews, and for every interview, like Bisola tells a lie to contradict the first lie, the previous lie, then I don't think the problem is with Sigley or Bisola, but with you, the believer of such lies. Thank you very much.